Hey guys, so today I'm going to give you some tips and advice, or at least how I got into the mines, into the coal mines in North Queensland area. Yeah. So I come from a smaller town in New South Wales, where obviously there's like no mining. Like I didn't really know what mines were, but I had seen a lot of TikToks, different women working in the mines, and I knew that my mum was up here and she was starting to get into the mines. So yeah, I had her sort of telling me, you should come up here, you should work in the mines, rah, rah, and I'm like, okay, that sounds like a really good idea, it's good money. I was working in sort of jobs that just weren't paying very well, and I was also doing online content creation that was like, you know what I mean? And I was over it. I just wanted to give up that whole life. I wanted to start afresh. So I started applying for entry-level mining jobs. I wasn't really getting any response from the jobs I was applying for. They definitely, probably because I had no experience, no certificates, no tickets. So I wasn't really getting any bites at first. And what my mum had done initially to get work in the mines was mine site cleaning. And so I eventually decided to start applying for mine site cleaning roles in different coal mines in North Queensland. And I actually got a call back and it was super exciting. They said, yeah, look, we've looked at your application. We think you'd be a great fit to come work for us. And I was super excited. So I packed up my things and moved straight up here to North Queensland in the hopes that, my application would get processed and I would start the job. I just already had that hope there. So I was like, right, I'm doing this. So mine site cleaning is a really, really good foot in the door into mining. A lot of people will say, oh no, you should go get your tickets to do this and get your tickets to do that. But the thing about mine site cleaning is if you've never been to a mine site before, you have no idea what goes on in a mine site, you will learn all about it if you're a mine site cleaner. Or at least in my experience, I did. I worked at 3 different coal mines in the Bowen Basin area in North Queensland, and I learned everything about how a coal mine works just from being a cleaner. Something that a lot of people get mixed up is thinking that cleaners, when it comes to the mining as a whole, we just work in the camp and do the accommodation and stuff. But no, there are cleaners on site. You have to have a clean mine site, right? There's bins in every corner of the mine site, mobile crib huts in every corner, or lunchrooms in every corner of the mine site, admin buildings. Just there's things everywhere that need to be cleaned. So the cleaners literally go to every single part of the mine site and get to see every single aspect of how a mine site works. So yeah, I ended up moving up here. My application got processed. The company that I got the cleaning job with, they pay for your standard 11 mining induction and your coal board medical, which are 2 really good things that you should have if you want to try and get into the mines. If you don't have them though, there are entry mine site cleaning companies and companies like that will pay for it and get it for you, which is what happened with me. But if you already have those things, there's a much higher chance of you getting a role. So yeah, it took a few months to sort of get all of those aspects done and get all of my, oh my gosh, my cat is being so annoying. Go play with your unicorn somewhere else. And yeah, it took a few months for me to get all of those things sorted, but once I had all those things sorted out, I was ready to go start my cleaning job. One thing I will say about cleaning is it's drive in, drive out, usually only. Unless you're in WA, then I know that cleaning jobs are FIFO. They are a bit longer rosters than 7/7, but at least in the Bowen Basin area, they're drive in, drive out. So they will generally pick people that live sort of within a certain radius of where they're going to be working. So for example, Bowen Basin is sort of surrounded by Mackay, Townsville, Rockhampton, those sorts of major areas that surround, or smaller suburbs of those areas. So if you're going to be applying for these sorts of jobs, you would probably want to put on your application that you plan on either relocating to that area to do ditto, or if you're in WA, then obviously you have the FIFO options. But yeah, if you want to do it on the East Coast, then you would be looking at relocating for the job. I don't think it would be it probably is possible to fly in, fly out into Mackay or Rockhampton from Brisbane or whatever, but really you would want to relocate initially for the drive in, drive out role if you're on the East Coast. But in WA, you have the FIFO option. So yeah, I relocated up to Mackay in North Queensland for this job. I had nothing left for me in my hometown, no good job opportunities, no ways of making money. I moved to up here to North Queensland. It's beautiful. The Great Barrier Reef, like, it's a beautiful place. You know what I mean? So I was happy to move up here. I was lucky enough to have my mum's address to put down when I was applying for this cleaning job, and also to be able to stay with her for a couple of months before I got my own place. But once I started this cleaning job, it was easy to get my own place because I was on good money. Mine site cleaners make good money, especially now. I think there's recently been a pay increase. I don't know how much detail I can go into about it. I don't work as a mine site cleaner anymore. I will do maybe a video about how I sort of grew from mine site cleaning into what I'm doing now. I am doing a traineeship in diesel fitting now with a bigger mining company. But mine site cleaners make good money. I don't know what I can really say, but what I will say is, if you're someone that's working in hospitality or retail or cleaning right now, and you're working 5 to 6 days every single week, and you're making, say, $1,000 a week, you're going to be making more than $1,000 a week for only 7 days of work. So you get paid for your 7 days of work, but you also get paid for your 7 days off. So yeah, I would, like, median, I would say around $2,500 a fortnight for 7 days of actual working, and then 7 days of off, R&R. So yeah, I know that it's at least $40 an hour with most cleaning companies. Some might pay less, some will pay much more. It just really depends, but it's a really good job that pays well. Something to take into consideration about mine site cleaning is it is hard work. It's not just a ride in the park. You're going to be on your feet all day. You're going to get a lot of blisters when you first start. You're going to be over it at the end of your 7 days, ready to go home. But it is really good that it's like that, because your days go quick, the 7 days go quick. But one thing I will say, your 7 days off goes even quicker. So when I first started working 7/7 after working in like 5-6 day a week jobs for so long, like, I was like loving the 7/7. Now I'm used to the 7/7. It's like, it's just normal now. You have so much time to do things that make you happy, and then really the 7 days at work, if you're doing a job where you're not just sitting around all the time, goes really quick. Like, I wouldn't change how I got into the mines for the world. Mine site cleaning was the best thing I could have possibly ever done, and like, such a good opportunity. The company I worked for, I had a great experience with them in the end, and I worked for them for over a year. I even had the opportunity to do a supervisor role for a small amount of time. That wasn't for me, but it was like, that's a really good opportunity from a company to take on, like, to actually be appointed as a supervisor in mining within a year. Like, that's pretty good. So yeah, I would say if you are wanting to get a foot in the door, mine site cleaning is a really good option for you, especially if you have absolutely no experience or no background in anything to do with mining. One thing it taught me was I didn't want to just be a haul truck driver. Like, I thought I wanted to be a haul truck driver and go out to the mines and drive trucks. But when I started doing mine site cleaning, and because I was in every single part of the mine, parts of the mine where other people that work in the mines don't even go to, like, don't even know about, because they only see certain areas. When you're a cleaner, you go to every single area of the mine site. Like, I was able to see jobs that I didn't even know sort of would have existed out there. And obviously I've picked diesel fitting. I wanted to get a trade. In the end, once I'd done cleaning for a year, I'm like, you know what, I want to get a trade. I want to have a qualification under my belt, and diesel fitting seemed like the right fit for me, because I am someone who just needs to be on my feet all the time, doing something different every day, challenging myself, and diesel fitting is definitely going to be a very challenging trade to complete and a very challenging job, but that is just the sort of thing I want for myself when it comes to working. And haul truck driving, for me, like, I can't sit still all day. Even though it's a fucking awesome job, it just wasn't for me. So I was able to see all the different options and sort of pick where I wanted to go. And obviously, because you get that mine site experience under your belt, you are way more likely after you've done 6 months, a year in cleaning to get jobs, entry-level roles with other companies. And then you know what you're getting yourself into as well, because you've seen it, you've talked to people on site. And another thing is, you can sort of make a good name for yourself out there, meet people that will offer you jobs as well. Like, honestly, if you're thinking of doing work in mining, then mine site cleaning probably is perfect for you. If you come from retail hospo background, or any background that sort of doesn't entail anything to do with heavy machinery or anything like that, like, it is such a good foot in the door. And you might end up just wanting to stay a cleaner because of how good the money is, the roster. Yeah, there's so many options out there, but mine site cleaning, in my opinion, is such a good foot in the door into a mining career, especially as a female.